Evening.
Good evening, Professor.
How are you tonight?
Doing awesome. How about yourself?
Not too bad. This is the final go-to of the session on technically the final day of the session, so it's kind of funky how this worked out.
Oh man, and all the fun we've been having.
Yes,
I'm
indeed.
gonna miss it.
Who
I'm gonna
says
start crying.
who says we gotta stop? We got a whole new crew coming next month.
Oh right, forget what I just said.
We'll keep this fresh forever.
So, yeah.
That's right.
So what do we got going on tonight?
Well, tonight, we're gonna be going in an entirely different direction than the previous 3 weeks, which I'm sure it seems like how. But we're going to be looking at basically the surreal and absurd, the how do you possibly analyze that type of thing, to see if we even can.
That sounds interesting. No, but I think that's a very, very good thing because there's a lot of stuff out there that you're like, who made that and for what purpose?
Mm-hmm.
Was that for just a weekend and you were bored to death? Maybe.
Maybe so, because I mean, I think the old saying goes, sometimes a cigar is just a cigar. Not everything has meaning. Sometimes it's just weird. But we'll get to that.
Yes. But then again, if it's a Cuban cigar,
Ooh.
right back at you.
Yes. All right. Okay, so let's go ahead and just get this other stuff out of the way first. So, of course, week 4, hello. Discussion post for those that have done it so far, fantastic. For those that have not, the discussion is basically on the auteur. Choose a director that has a very distinctive style. One you can say, yes, that's a Kubrick, that's a Michael Bay, that's a Tarantino, because all of them are auteurs. You can tell instantly if they made a film or not, just based on the way it's put together. And how does recognizing that make you see films differently? Now that you're seeing more of what goes into making a film, how is that recognizing that style alter your basically experience of the film? So it's like, if it's Kubrick, we can expect some wide shots that stick around for a long time. If it's Tarantino, we're going to see a lot of blood. And so on and so
Well, then again, you could see blood in Kubrick, right? Elevator scene, right? Am I wrong?
Oh, you got me there. I was going to say, you don't usually see blood gushing like rockets out of people in Kubrick, but you got me on that one. However,
That's what I'm here for.
But I also don't suspect Tarantino would ever have the guy in the bear suit doing what he was doing to that guy at the end of the hall. At least I hope not.
Then again, it is Tarantino, and never leave anything wide open. Realm of possibilities. I'll just say that.
He's been known to surprise. Okay, so final project. I've gotten a couple of those in so far. This is the final night of the course, but you do technically have to the end of the week to get them in. Of course, you got a couple of options. 4 to 5 page essay on a film of your choice, broken down, basically examine all the elements we've been talking about: mise-en-scène, cinematography, sound design, and editing. How are these work in the film, and what is their overall effect? And if you don't want to do it that way, we can also do an audiovisual presentation, 5 to 7 minutes, same parameters. Film of your choice, same idea. And do try to provide several examples of each if you could. If you want to talk about the editing, show more than one scene. If you want to talk about the sound design, show a few instances where that works out, not just one, just for everyone's note. So, with that in mind, knowledge check, that's self-evident. So let's go ahead and jump into the good stuff here. Tonight, we're going to be looking at, yes, that is not a joke, there's an octopus in your head. ain't kidding. Here's the link for those that need it. Going down in the chats here. There we go.
Oh boy.
So we'll just go ahead and jump on in this and see what we see.
Get your popcorn ready.
And already we have a very demented Alice in Wonderland motif. Except he appears to be in...
Hell?
Might well be.
Yeah.
Yep, it's hell.
And he's wondering why he's there. And he's got a knife. Okay.
That was a...
obviously he wanted to be there.
That was a frying pan with a pancake in it.
Oh. Okay, never mind. It looked like a knife in one section.
Yeah, I'll just show you again. See? There you go.
Ah, gotcha.
Yeah.
Why is he, like, acting way more demented than, like, the demon itself? He just gave the guy the bird. Oh, what a little craphead. Yeah. He's got no color to him, so yeah, he's definitely ballsy. Look at Death, or if I think
Satan.
That is Death. It could be.
He called him Satan.
Satan. I'll admit that is a very nice representation of Death. You know, of Satan's.
Sure.
Looks good. In darkness, don't actually see his face. That's good.
Mm-hmm. Well, clearly the...
is that character...
Whoa. That was random.
Oh, now we're... Yeah, now are we like... Oh.
Well, clearly the illustration style was very simple. So...
Yeah, you could look at the background. The background is just like a motion graphic that's just like moving around.
On a loop there, yep.
Yeah. But it adds to the feel.
Huh.
Marty McFly.
Marty McCookie,
Chef,
I guess.
Swedish chef. Swedish chef. Marty, do not play what I think you're going to play. No, you did it again. Johnny be good.
I'm going to say, why do I make pancakes is a less catchier riff than Johnny Be Good.
This looks like he literally took some acid and then decided to go to like hell and be like, hey, man.
You know what? Maybe that's how they wrote the script.
I wouldn't be surprised because this is so far out there. Wow, this is like... Ooh.
Ooh. He makes evil through pancakes. That's a new one. Oh, now plot twist.
Uh-oh. He just turned sad, didn't he?
Yes, rap.
All this time he was pissed. All this time he was pissed off and upset. Now he's really sad.
Rapid gear change there.
Pancakes again. Did he spike the pancakes now?
Maybe he went hiding in his cooking after she passed or something. Or maybe he did that.
And he apparently had hair.
And pushed her off.
Oh. Okay,
But
that is a new one.
But there was a tentacle in his skull.
Head. And there seems to be more just creeping around. Look, whoa. We're gonna need an OR stat. Big lever, always when you have the big lever, always got to pull it.
I'm never going to look at pancakes the same ever again after this.
I don't think I can
Oh.
even order pancakes
What is
with
that?
the fear of having unless I have like an octopus like tentacle coming out of my head.
Uh-huh.
I don't think that's going to be.
That thing looks more like one of those little ghosts from Pac-Man.
Yeah. How dare you just poke the thing in the eye? Oh, come on.
And the worst thing is it has a zipper.
What did it do to you?
It might have an octopus inside its head, too. Yeah.
Oh, boy. See, this is what happens when you mess up with, Satan's day. He has to resort to smoking to go into a better world.
Oh, well, that didn't solve a thing, I see.
Apparently not.
Wow.
Oh, boy. Abstract. Uber abstract.
Dang.
Someone's being demonic. Oh.
Uh-oh.
Ew.
We're not even close to done yet.
Did he just take that out? Oh boy.
Oh my.
That what?
Your journey to the dark side is complete.
Really? Do I get the extra order of pancakes?
Strike down the octopus and take your place at my side.
Oh, but I need pancakes first.
Are they Sith pancakes?
Well, I don't know. I add, some chocolate chip, chips in there, and maybe a little granola, just to give it a little bit of extra, oomph. And I'm sad because you're not giving me my pancakes.
Oh. So the question is, if you fail to swallow them, are you getting force choked?
Apparently, because now you're going through a vortex. Oh no, we're back to somewhere.
Okay.
I'm back home, I think.
Oh.
And I don't see a stove.
Super
sad.
The octopus back. Wow.
Yeah, apparently.
Wow. Okay.
Okay, Ari. I don't know what caused you to make that. Is that basically saying that your brain was like somewhere else and then decided to go on its own little journey? I have no idea. I'm confused.
That's an awfully long credit.
Wow. This reminds me of the show on Cartoon Network, the Aqua Teen Hunger Force.
Uh-huh.
Where it's got all this, it's animated, and it's almost like, I don't know why they do it. There's no stories at all.
No, there isn't.
You follow these three characters, and they just do the most absurd things that are like, and what was the whole point of that?
At the end of it, nothing's
nothing
resolved or anything. It's just like, okay, what happened?
In my view, it's the animated Seinfeld. Oh. It's a animated show about nothing.
You know what? That actually, ironically, that makes a lot of sense. You have to wonder.
Oh God, I wasn't supposed to do that. That's not my job on the show.
You made sense of that which has no sense. That's impressive.
I am not here to make sense of things.
Okay, make dollars instead.
Thank you. That makes better.
I have to wonder here. So he knocks on the tree. So he clearly, and look at that look on his face. He clearly wants to go to hell. But the tentacle looks like something out of Beetlejuice. Actually, it looks just like those tentacles in Beetlejuice.
Oh yeah, with the color scheme.
Yes.
And he's all bug-eyed, happy. Yay!
I'm going to hell! Yay! Wow. So down he goes. And then he explodes. Okay. Boy, too much huffing the pancake batter, I suppose.
Oh, you can never have too much of that. You know that. Okay, there's an octopus in your head. Okay, I'm still trying to wrap my brain around what specifically, or maybe this, you know what? Maybe there's not anything meant to be any, it's not supposed to be anything significant. It's not like Beauty and the Beast where it's like, you know, Beauty meets Beast and changes the world and sees the inner beauty of the beast. No, there's none of that here.
Well, in the end, nothing really changed at the end, did it? Literally, okay, there was an octopus in my head. I beat the crap out of it, and then I put it back, and then that's it. Nothing was resolved. This is Aqua Teen Hunger Force. Huh.
There we go. There we go. I just proved everyone wrong again.
Oh.
Oh, no. Wait, I proved everyone right. Or I proved people wrong. Oh my god, I've even forgotten what I just did.
I see the infectious insanity has gotten to you too.
Well, just get me a guitar and some pancakes and I'll be good to go.
This might be able to be arranged. That's now, next thing will be like, you'll be like David Lee Roth. No pancakes at any show. Never any pancakes. Or worse yet, always pancakes. You know what? To tangent off the topic, I actually found out why David Lee Roth actually put that stipulation in all of his contracts to have no brown M&Ms backstage ever. Have you heard this story? Hello? Hello?
Hey, sorry about that.
Oh.
What was the stipulation?
Oh, well, where'd I lose you?
Oh, no. Oh, at the, you were asking me about the stipulation, and I'm like, I've never heard of that.
Okay.
What was up with that?
There's David Lee Roth, during his days in Van Halen, actually had this clause in his contract for every time he'd play a venue. He had a little clause in there: no brown M&Ms can be backstage. And yes, that does sound ridiculous. People think he was being some kind of prima donna. I can do it because I'm David Lee Roth and I can do anything I want. No, this guy was freaking shrewd. He knew exactly what he was doing. It was because, and I heard this from the guy's own mouth. He was explaining it. The reason why he did that was because at the time, Van Halen's basically tour setup, when they did a show, was one of the most demanding setups of anybody in the business at the time. They needed to have more resources available to them than most other bands. And what he found was a lot of times people would not read the contract all the way through before signing it, and thenceforth would not provide the things they needed to be able to put on the show as they wanted to do it. So one thing he was able to do to know instantly if they had read the contract or not was if there were any brown M&Ms backstage. If there were, he knew they had not read the contract, and then they had to do basically an emergency check of lights, sound, everything to make sure that the place could handle their setup.
So
it was brilliant.
That
actually
is the reason.
Yes.
So it wasn't a weird like, oh, brown M&Ms freak me out, or they're the M&Ms from Satan.
No,
it's clearly just because of the fact that is brilliant, actually.
Yeah, it is. Because better to know.
Oh my god!
Better to know the second you get there that you're in trouble than to find out later on. And if he saw brown M&Ms, he knew they were in trouble. He's like, we need to do a sound check and a light check now. Make sure we can do this.
I am shocked. I seriously never would have thought it like that before. I would have just figured, well, they think they're a hotshot band, which they kind of are, and like we could have whatever the heck we want, and we want to make things difficult for people. So M&Ms, but no brown ones. Absolutely no brown M&Ms.
Uh-huh. And that was put in there because the venues were making things difficult for Van Halen by not providing what was needed.
Mariah, this is what you should be learning from. And Jennifer Lopez, this is what you should be learning from.
It's like seems like most of their demands were like, I need to find my center. David Lee Roth is like, I need to make sure we can do the show. He was thinking beyond himself here.
Wow, a selfless act by a rock band.
Yeah, weird, isn't it?
That's kind of uncanny nowadays. Yeah, that's kind of uncanny nowadays.
Yeah, I mean, I'd heard the story a few times. I just thought it was just some weird, as you said, just some weird quirk that he tried to do because he thought he could get away with it. He had a reason.
Well, you know what? I think I might adapt my own little, trickery. Now I just got to come up with like a different candy that just like is not really well known. That might actually be a good one. If I pick like the one candy that is like the most obscure one ever and say it's got to be there, then that's my indication that nobody read the contract.
If there are no Toblerones, I know you have not read the contract.
Even though that kind of doesn't make any sense, but then again, I don't know. Maybe I'm just shooting myself in the foot again, as I always do. But anyway, obscure candy. I'll think of one.
Nice.
A Wonka bar. Oh, Wonka bar. That's it. That's what I'll find. I'll find a Wonka bar, and I'll make sure that it's like, I don't know. It's got to be. I don't know how you do a contract like that. Do you just like say there's got to be like M&Ms, and if they don't take out the brown ones have to be like left out, and if the brown ones aren't left out, that's pretty much how it's told that you weren't paying attention.
If there are brown M&Ms that constantly technically constitutes a breach of contract because it's one of the things you agree to in signing the contract. So like what David was saying is like if he shows up at a venue and he sees people picking the brown M&Ms out of the bowl, he knows they read the contract. He knows they're going to be okay.
I just connected something. So if I do that same thing, but with a Wonka bar, and then someone, and then I say to someone, well, you just broke the contract. And guess what? You're Charlie Bucket. You broke the contract. So you lose.
Good day.
Good day. God, now I'm just waiting for that day to happen so I can just do that. And then they just look at me like, what just happened?
You've been waiting for that to happen. Many years, sir. Yes, thank you for that.
I've been planning for 10 years. You have no idea.
I'm loving the way they illustrated this guy's face. I mean, literally, his face was like a pancake the second he hit the ground. You see that? It's like flattened.
Ew, mushy.
It almost looks like he used real candles there on some type of little short video loop, because the candles look a lot better than he does.
Yeah. Actually, you're right. But you know what? I dig the style of this.
Mm-hmm.
Even though it's like very, very, it's not straightforward as to like what this thing is about. There's still a vision here. You've got Satan, who's completely always covered in darkness. Oh, actually, check this out. You've got Darkness, who's in, covered in black.
Yes.
And then you've got this character who's all in white.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if that's supposed to mean anything, but it just jumped out on me.
Makes him definitely pop out from the background.
Oh, yeah.
He's also so optimistic. Hey, Satan! What a pancake!
What does that remind me of? Oh, yeah. South Park. Hey, Satan!
Oh. They've done this
Oh man,
before. Did you catch that? You just said there?
catch what?
Satan just said, if we
Oh
do that,
yeah, yeah, yeah.
this is not the first time he's done this.
So wait, does he just? Is this like a weekend trip for him?
Gee, maybe so.
Hey, what's going on this weekend? What are you up to? What are we doing?
Oh, I'm going to go down to hell. What? Yeah, I'll be back on Tuesday. Okay.
Tuesday-ish.
That's as bad as a line I once used in one of my movies. Hey, what happened to Graham? Oh, he's dead again. He'll be back tomorrow.
Now, Professor, I gotta really, really ask you,
Mhm.
and I'm quite sure most people are gonna ask, was there really any significance behind doing this short? There's an octopus in your head.
My choice in selecting it or the actual thing itself?
No, just the actual thing itself.
Honestly, I don't think so. I think we're looking at something that is inherently devoid of all meaning, which sometimes happens.
Wow. Well, you know, if I'm going to put my critiquing brain on right now, even though I'm about 20 minutes late in the game, um, does it, you know, stand out and is it interesting? Absolutely. Is it entertaining? In its own right, it's entertaining. If you're not looking for anything with deep meaning and substance, you know, like a Batman v Superman, God forbid you get any substance in that, then I think you're going to find, you know, some really good enjoyment out of this. I mean, it does prance around a lot as if someone was taking something. I mean, it really feels like you're on a trip, an acid trip, or whatever kind of trip, a Volvo trip, you know, whatever is to your liking. But you're definitely going to different places and trying to ascertain what it's the deep meaning is about, and it turns out there's really no deep meaning to it.
Not in this case.
Oh
No.
wait, Gladys actually says something here.
What's that?
She says, "I think there's an octopus in everyone's head that suck people's brains when they are under stress or depression and makes you confused. I think that matches with the cartoon."
Oh, okay. In that case, I'd like to ask Gladys why she thinks he took the octopus back. I would like to hear her thoughts on that.
You know what? Yeah. Why did you take the octopus back? If it was all depression, or maybe I think maybe there is a reason why.
What's that?
I'm trying to ascertain the reasoning behind it. You know why he could probably have taken it back? Is because, you know what? He realized that it is his own, and it's like it's something that you got to deal with no matter what. And you can't easily, if it's something that's a part of you, you can't easily, you know, jettison it away completely. Could also be, you know, just the addiction part. That's like, yeah, come on back. You know, I need it. This could be actually, this could actually be an entire piece on addiction. When you think about it.
Addiction to what? What do you think?
Addiction to maybe wanting, you know, it could be just an addiction to wanting more out of life.
You know,
it could very well be like that.
I had a coworker back in, when I was a promotions producer, who said, like, he was Nicaraguan, you know, Central American kind of guy, and they had this idea down there that every now and then you got to get the demon out, and this can be done in a number of ways. But it meant basically kind of diving headfirst into the dark for a while because you got to purge it. That's literally what this guy did.
You got a point there.
Great.
That's a very good point,
Are we
actually.
finding meaning in this thing now? Well, I'm gonna have to
I
recant
don't know
everything I
how.
said.
I don't know why. I don't know how, and I don't know why. Above all the pancakes and everything else in there, we probably are.
Well, and sometimes, I mean, it's possible. You know, things are not binary. It's generally you can't say that nothing has meaning or that everything has meaning. It's always some things do and some things don't. It's possible they did pancakes just because it's ridiculous. Like take Douglas Adams for example. When he wrote Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy, people asked him, "Why did you, when you came up with the answer to the question of life, universe, and everything, you came up with 42. Why?" He went, "Why? Because it was silly." That's all. He just thought it was funny.
There you go. That could very well be.
I mean,
that could very, very well be.
One of the when I made my first feature, one of the actors was commending that particular film was one of those where we could have moments of creative insanity that would still work within the film. Not every movie can do that, but we just come up with something on the fly and be like, "Yeah, let's throw that in there." Why? Because it's funny.
Oh, well, that's true. That's true.
Maybe there is something holding him back.
That could very well be. I mean, if you're going into the depths of hell, and here's the thing, we keep saying it's hell, but what if it's his own personal hell? Well, and what if Satan, that's in there, is not actually Satan, but it's his inner personality trying to take charge of the situation. And the form of him that fell in is actually the one that's in the depressed, is the depressed state.
Okay.
And he's acting out.
And so even though he has indulged the episode, he's faced the anxiety, the depression, the craziness. He dove headfirst into the insanity, so he purged it from his system for a while, but it's not gone for good. Dang it. All of a sudden,
wow.
Oh, geez. Now that actually makes perfect sense. Crap. We found meaning.
The Academy Award goes to...
Arg!
I'm waiting for it. I'm waiting for it. I'm waiting for the name.
Ashton Bracadetta?
Yes. I like to thank the Academy for helping me find the meaning in an otherwise meaningless film. But no, after talking about it and really looking at it, because at first glance you're like, wait, what? No, that's nothing. Oh, God, what a waste of time. No, there's actually something to it if you actually spend more time examining it,
which is the whole entire.
And I think we've really,
which is exactly what we're supposed to be doing. Oh man!
Oh boy, I just did part of the job here. This is not good.
You should be getting paid for this. Oh wait, you are.
Oh, but seriously, I think that is really the heart of the film. Is that he's diving into his own hell, and he's got two sides of him that are at play. He's got the one that looks like he's sane, but really acts completely different, and then you've got the Satan version, which is actually his normal side, is mellow and it's just like, hey man, I just take things day by day.
Well, what happens to things that we repress? Pretty much exactly that.
That could yeah, absolutely.
It's a bit of that. It's kind of that. Well, the whole idea behind. I mean, for me to get off topic again, the whole Jekyll and Hyde situation. When Robert Louis Stevenson wrote Jekyll and Hyde, he wrote that during the Victorian era, which had this idea of outward respectability and inward lust. The culture of the day where you were not supposed to be very expressive, but we are still human. We've got all this stuff that we're not allowed to, put out there. So you're going to have a lot of stuff bottled up, and that's what Hyde was. Hyde was all the things within Jekyll that he was not allowed to express.
Wow. That's very interesting.
That's also where Stan Lee came up with the idea for the Hulk. He wanted to combine Jekyll and Hyde and Frankenstein together into one creature.
Well, I don't know what your symbolism you're talking about. I just love the Hulk.
Well, you notice, I mean, the Hulk in his original incarnation looked like the Frankenstein monster, just bigger. And he was also...
You're right. You're absolutely right. And wasn't he gray at one time?
He was gray for like 2 issues, and then the colorist of the comic was having a problem coloring him gray, so they turned it green because it was just easier for him to do.
I hope that man got a raise, or a lifetime pension.
Yeah.
If anything, I hope he got like a lifetime pension for that. It's like, hey, that thing where you just changed it to green without, telling anybody about any one of us about it? Well, since it's been a hit, we're just gonna, give you a lifetime pension.
Well, and that's...
wow. I should make more mistakes like that or more often.
You might be surprised how many things came about from just little cheats. A prime example is, why in Dragon Ball Z why Super Saiyans are blonde? You've seen Dragon Ball Z at some point,
why?
Right? Okay. Well, the reason being...
Oh, yeah.
Okay. Well, the reason... honestly, the real reason why that happened was it was a manga before it was an anime, and it was in black and white. And the inker got so tired of coloring in their hair all the time, he made the Super Saiyan blonde because that way he wouldn't have to color in their hair in all the panels. It was that simple.
It's either that simple or someone was just getting lazy. I don't know. Probably it was just because it was simple. I'll the benefit of the doubt here. Benefit of the doubt. Oh man!
I mean, look at one of the most iconic scenes in movie history. That happened just because Harrison Ford was feeling sick that day.
There you go. There you go.
Sometimes that stuff, it just...
Oh, man.
And I was initially going to say the same thing about this, how it's just there, and we just found meaning in it. Even when I try to divert from the curriculum, we go right back to it. It's like The Godfather. It pulled us back in.
Oh, well, let's... Yeah. Well, where's my cannoli? Where's my cannoli? If you're going to burn me back in, where's my cannoli? All right? I just can't have any more problems, okay? Maybe I should do these with you, with this voice. You going to talk about my movie now? When are we talking about my movie? I've got lots to say in my movie. I do a lot of like that in every one of my movies.
It's special guest Professor Corleone. It's going to show you a lesson you cannot forget.
Oh, now we're talking. Now we're talking. Oh, yeah. But remember, I'm the one who does it. You're just the ugly clone, okay? You're just the clone.
Oh, really? So what are we, Schwarzenegger and DeVito now? All the leftover crap?
Oh, if I can only do those voices, it'd be so good. Just like a cannoli.
Imagine doing an entire lesson like this. Why does nobody paid attention? They can't do the lesson because they understand the word I'm saying.
Why don't you slow down and have a cannoli once in a while? Maybe people will understand you. If you don't stop and take a look once in a while, you may miss out. Yes, I just stole a line from Broderick, but you know what? He was in one of my movies, and guess what? I pushed him around like a doll. If you don't know what movie I'm talking about, Then seriously look it up because it's actually kind of funny.
All right. Nice. And yes, and I've had Satan just gawking at us the entire time, like, what?
Like, all right, I should have been out of here long ago.
Dang it. So yes, after all of that, you're like, oh, that's a nice one. So here's what I don't get. He clearly went down into hell, and Satan is throwing him downward into the stratosphere, further down, and he lands downward back where he started upward. Does that make any sense?
That's true. What was that tree trunk? An elevator?
Unless he somehow threw him around the world, I don't know how they did that.
That is very, very true.
Because even that,
and maybe
that mist thing followed him downward, so he clearly came from above. Huh. Can I come home now? Okay, come on home. Yay!
That's very, very true.
And that it just stops. Man. Well, I guess it did have more significance than Aqua Teen Hunger Force, but just marginally.
Just marginally, yes.
That's all we would have needed.
But it was still... But you know what? At the end of the day, I still found enjoyment out of that.
Yeah, it was... If you're in the right mood, it can be a lot of fun. That played... I came across that at a HP Lovecraft Film Festival in Portland, Oregon. You want to see some weird stuff, I'll tell you. Anything Lovecraft is woo! Because he tends to deal, Lovecraft was more along the lines of leaving his characters insane rather than dead. That was more of his penchant. So, people's minds tended to shatter a lot. In fact, I did the same thing. I actually did a Lovecraft film myself a few years back. Same thing happened.
Well, there you go. That's what happens. You touch Lovecraft, that's what happens, man.
At least he got to walk away. Because in Lovecraft, sometimes you do, sometimes you don't. And, he went through hell, he came back out, and he took his octopus back and walked on, so... But clearly he's been there before, so looks like he'll be there again eventually. As we say, gotta get the demon out now and then, so it's gonna happen again. We've been at this for 45 minutes.
Wow. But that's typical, because we're just that good.
Oh, yes, we are.
But you know what? What we do also is very, very informative, and we definitely, learn something out of it. So I'm very happy about that.
Yeah. Yeah, and it also gives me the chance to really find some stuff that's really worth analyzing. This ended up being more worthwhile than I expected.
Awesome-o.
All right, I'm gonna have to call it here. Honestly, last week when I did my other class, I let it run for too long, and the video ended up being so long I couldn't embed it. So I gotta make sure that doesn't happen this time.
Oh, yeah, make sure of that.
Yeah, 45-minute mark tends to work pretty well, like right at that cusp where it doesn't get too big, so I'm gonna have to end this here.
Exactly. All right, well, it was awesome talking to you as always, Professor.
Hey, Vu, and I'll have your Academy Award for you come next week. It's on my shelf, you've seen it.
Oh, I better. Nicely shined and everything, ready for me.
Mm-hmm.
Spell my last name right this time.
That's as hard to spell as Schwarzenegger.
Well, there you go. That's what happens.
All right. In that case, I'm going to have to bid everyone adieu, and good night to y'all.
All right. Good night.